All right, Shalom. Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto you, Howell. Ma'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers pushing this truth all over the earth, and another shalom to you hopeful elect out there, you brothers and sisters. And I'm going to go into a little bit of this dream I had, and I'm gonna filter it through the scriptures. And had the dream a while ago, and I wrote most of it down in my notes. That was actually edifying, faith booster, Lord willing, and all that stuff. And then the rest of the dream was just nothing, just other stuff that wouldn't bring no edification or anything. And so I just left that part. So I'm just gonna bring out the basically kind of like the beginning of the dream, and just go through the scriptures as I tell you guys what the dream was about. And so with that, I'm probably just gonna start off from the beginning. So in the beginning of the dream, I was on the way to the mall, the shopping mall. And I was with like a YouTuber. And it happened to be that like it was like a challenge that he was doing going on or whatever. And basically we was just getting everything as fast as we could, and then he was able to he was going to buy like everything that we could carry or some along those lines. I don't remember the specific details of that, but it was something along those lines. And we was getting groceries and all that other stuff. Like it was like a huge shopping spree basically that we went on. And after that finished, we loaded up the car and everything, and then we went back home. And the stuff was left in the car because when we got there, we took like certain bags out and we put them in the living room and then start putting them away little by little. But for the remainder of the stuff, all the stuff that we bought, we left in the car. And if I remember, they went downstairs. I mean, they stayed downstairs, and I went upstairs in my room, and I don't even know exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something. And the next thing I know is that I heard gunshots. And it was this. Now this happened later during the day. Like once we got home, it was like nighttime, probably around like 10. I really don't know the time, but it was dark. And I know when we was at the mall, it was nighttime. So this was during night. And there was gunshots. So I'm thinking that it was just people just shooting fire. What I was thinking at the time, people were just shooting firecrackers or whatever. But when I looked out the window, I seen people. They were in the street. They were just shooting at each other with real weapons. And I'm like, what is going on right now? And then next thing you know, after that, I went downstairs, asked them, like, you guys see what's going on out there? They was like just playing off it, just ignoring it. They just let it happen. And then a couple more minutes went by, and next thing you know, it was a barrage of gunshots that was just going down. And particularly who the people were, I don't know. I don't know if there was troops, or I don't know if it was police shooting at citizens or whatever the case was going on. And then next thing I know, minutes later, it was like a barrage of gunshots. It was multiple. When we look out the window, it was multiple people. And then there was like cars, like trucks coming in, but they were like army trucks coming in. And we were like, we got to get out of here. And then next thing you know, we hear banging, because the garage door was left open. So we hear banging on the inside of the door, and I go ready to go to open it. to see who it was, and it was like a like FBI agent. I want to say it's FBI. It was like a SWAT team member, more like, because the way that he was dressed. And I instantly shut the door when I saw him and closed it. And I was like, we got to get out of here. So we then didn't grab anything, and we we left from there. There were like how do I want to say? It was like troops like everywhere, and the whole place, the whole neighborhood was going to chaos. So we left from there, and we kind of escaped, and we went to like this kind of like the rooftop. And from there, we were just like examining the whole situation throughout the whole neighborhood. And what we seen was these troops were evacuating these apartments. And we were looking from where we were, but we weren't able to be seen. We were just looking from like the roof from where we was. I really don't know how to describe it, like where he was, but it was on like this roof high platform or whatever. And we just seen all through the neighborhood. It was helicopters. People were coming down from helicopters, and people were going. It was troops storming in the building and taking people out. And when the people were coming out, they had their hands on their heads, just walking in a single file line, and they was lining them up. And they were like those army trucks where a whole bunch of people can sit in the back. There was a whole bunch of those around, and we're looking at the people going in and out, taking everybody out the building. Now, we didn't know specifically what was going on and why everybody was getting evacuated out the building, why there was gunshots, why all that stuff was happening. Now, we have no clue why that happened. But when I was watching, because I was poking my head around the corner at this specific point in time, I was watching this one specific complex get watch these people getting evacuated, and the dude was waving his arm, telling these people to come on, go this way, and all this stuff. And when I was doing that, the guard, I think he had turned his head, and I think he seen me. And I was like, I told him, I'm like, we gotta get out of here. I think the guard seen me. And he was like, I'm not staying right. He was like, I'm not leaving. We're staying right here, and all this other stuff. And then I think he called another person over, and they were talking, and they pointed in the direction where we was. And the dude started walking, like trying to go to where he was. And I told him, I told him I'm not going to no camps, or I'm not going to prison, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, so I'm leaving. And then it was like, I'm almost here. And as the dude, I seen him get closer. I started to see him approach. That's when I just jumped. I jumped off like the roof. It wasn't super high in the air, but it was high enough to break something. So I just jumped off. But before I want to keep going, I want to get one scripture right here. I'll stop in the middle. I want to get this 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse. I'm going to start at 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, and travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. So, all I got that point because they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon you. And that day, when we went on that shopping spree in the mall, we was expecting to have fun that day. Went on a shopping spree, unpack everything. We got groceries, we got all this stuff. We're good. Nothing's going on in the world. And then next thing you know, right when we're in peace and safety, then destruction started coming immediately. A few hours right after that, man. It immediately came upon us, and we wasn't expecting it at all. Just like it says, the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Thief in the night. You don't know you don't know when he's coming back. Just like you don't know when a thief's about to enter your house. So we don't know when he's coming back, man. We don't know what the Most High has planned. And so is something that the elder Manatazat says. He says, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, man. And this is the people of the world. They just don't have no clue what's going on. They don't understand that destruction is winding down on this place. Chaos, hell, destruction is winding down on this place. And they're going to be caught when this stuff starts to hit the fan. They're going to be caught with their pants down. They're going to be wondering to and fro what is going on. We got to start doing this and that and all types of stuff, man. They're not going to know what hit them. And just exactly how it was in that dream. In that dream, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% sure that I didn't know of the truth. I wasn't in that mindset of the truth. So I was just going by everything in the worldly standards. So I was completely confused of what was going on. I just know hell was breaking loose and I wanted to stay away from it. But get out of it. So continuing on, when I jumped off the rooftop, I landed on the ground, but nothing affected me. Like I landed perfectly on the ground and I didn't break anything. I was running perfectly fine. I was walking perfectly fine completely right after that. Like I jumped and I did like a little roll when I hit the ground. And I got up and I noticed that there was this troop was guarding these other people to this area. They had their hands on their head, and it was a troop in the front of them, and there was a troop on the side of the group. And what I did was, when I noticed that, I got in line, like right with them. I put my hand on top of my head and I start walking. And there was this little girl that was like a couple people in front of me, and she noticed that I just got in the line. I don't know if she seen me jump off the building or whatever, but she noticed that I got in the line, and she turned around. She looked at me, and I looked right at her, and she got out of line, and she ran forward to the guard that was in front. And what I thought was that she was about to go tell that this guy was not in the line. So when she went to go do that, I left the line. I got out of the line, and when I got out of the line, I noticed that my body wasn't moving like it wasn't moving normally. Like it was like I don't know how to really describe it. Like because I hopped over a fence. Like it was just like something about my movement wasn't normal. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing because I was able to do stuff that no one was able to do. And then I hopped over a fence, and then I started running. And now when I was running, I wasn't running like the flash speed, but I was running beyond human speed. Like my strides were like an animal. I was just running to try to get away from the troops, because I'm pretty sure she went to go tell. And once I started running, that's when they noticed, and they started saying something. I really don't remember what they were saying, but they were like yelling, and they couldn't catch up to me because the way I was running. It wasn't normal. And I remember, because we was in like this neighborhood, and I ran and I hid in some bushes. And I laid there. I was watching the people. They didn't even chase after me. They just kept going with the people that they had. And then one of the people that I remember seeing that I was with, I seen him running down the block. And he I guess he seen me going to the bushes or whatever. And he started talking loud and yelling and stuff. I was like, I remember telling him to be quiet. You have to be quiet. I was like, you're being too loud right now. Like, bro, you have to hush. You're too loud. You're going to get us caught. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So I got out the bushes. We start walking down through this alley in the back of the neighborhood. We were just walking, and we got around to this gas station and these stores. And these stores and the gas station was all, they weren't barred up, but it was like wooded up. Like the doors were blocked with the wood. The windows and everything was like, it had all types of paper or some type of plastic over it, so you couldn't see inside, and all types of stuff. And we were just walking through this little area, and noticed everything. We couldn't get anything. We couldn't try to grab snacks and stuff, or we couldn't grab water. We couldn't grab anything because everything was closed off. It's like these people knew, like they had to do this before time, because there's no way they could have got done in the nick of time that everything started happening. And so as we was walking through the town, trying to figure out what was going on, it was the group of people. It was 3 of them, and they had one had a chainsaw, and then I'm pretty sure the other 2 had some types of knives or whatever. They were wearing hockey masks. They were just walking, and it was like there's somebody's on the other side of they're basically on the other side of the street. And as we were walking, because we were walking going back, because we realized that we had to go back to the house to get the stuff, to get like groceries and stuff that we need so we can get out of there. And as we were walking back towards the place, we look across the street, we look at them, and they looked right at us, but they didn't do anything. They just kept walking. They were just like, it was like just they looked at us, we looked at them, and they just kept going about their day, like we didn't see each other. And the scripture I want right here is this: Psalms 91 and verse 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So you're gonna see people die, you're gonna see people fall, but the destruction, the pestilence, all this stuff is not gonna come to you. It's the first scripture that came to mind when I thought about that scenario. And there's many more scenarios. You can be in some type of chaos, and you see a whole bunch of people die or get shot or whatever the case may be, but you didn't get grazed, you didn't get touched. It's not coming to you. That's what I thought of in that situation. And as we're walking back to go back to the place to get goods and stuff, we were in another alley that we was going back to, because we didn't want to take any main streets, because people were getting evacuated and all that stuff was happening. And as we were going through the alley, it was a biker. Like you hear a motorcycle from like a good distance, and when it came into our field of view, when we seen it, it would start driving towards us, and then the driver was yelling, like he was just screaming, like oh, just yelling at the top of his lungs, and he had a gun. And when he seen us, because we came in his field of view, and he started shooting at us. When he saw us, that's when he started shooting at us. So that's when we started running. And now at this point, I wasn't running any type of fast. I wasn't doing anything special. It was like regular movement now. Like I felt like I was like human like movement. So I was running at normal speed and all that stuff. So we ran. We climbed on top of this ladder to go inside this place. We broke inside some type of house, and we were in there. And from there, I remember us leaving. But after us leaving that house, because it was a lady and a child in there, and we got to talk. We got to talk to them about something. I really don't recall what we were talking about. But after that, the dream was pretty much pretty much nonsense. After that point, it was like it's not no point in me telling you about, because it's nothing important that happened after that. So I'm gonna get these rest of these scriptures that I had, and it's gonna close it out. Revelation 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So we know in the upcoming times when stuff really does hit the fan, martial law kicks off, Jacob's trouble starts happening, the chip is implemented, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. When that stuff starts happening, we know that we're gonna get thrown in prisons, man. We're not supposed to fear none of those things. We're gonna be in prison. And best believe when you watch movies when they're in prison, when it's all clean, the guards are nice to you, make sure that you got sheets on your bed and all this stuff. You got food in your system, all this stuff. It's not gonna be like that, man. It's not gonna be all needed. It's not gonna be all clean and order and all. There's gonna be nothing but chaos in those prisons, man. You best believe Esau. It says, hold on, I gotta get this one now. This wasn't any part of it. I know it's in Revelation, but I don't know exactly where. I think it's in. Yeah, here it is, Revelation 12. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And that wrath, part of that wrath, is going to be shown in them prisons, man. They're not going to feed you. They're not going to give you, and if they do feed you, it's going to be some bottom of the line, nasty muck, whatever type of contraption that Esau comes up with, man. It's going to be women crying, babies crying, men crying. It's going to be people going to be fighting. It's going to be blood. It's going to be dead bodies. The smell is probably going to be beyond imagination. It's going to be terrible, man. Just like they betrayed in this movie, that's going to be all in order. Everybody's going to be cool, chilling. They're going to give you food at this time of day at 3 o'clock, and you're going to eat again at 8 o'clock. No, man. They'll give you water to make sure you good. You got a bunkie and a roommate. No, man. It's not going to be like that. They realize the true nature of Esau is going to be coming out in this time, man. They already don't like you. So now when there's no rules, no laws to go off, you think they really gonna even show you more, be more cruel? They're gonna be more cruel than they are now, man. It's gonna be a terrible time. But what we supposed to do? We're not supposed to fear none of those things that we should suffer, because you don't know how the Most High. Yeah, think about it like this. It is scary thing, because we understand it's going to be worse, because we can imagine, we can picture what can be going on, but in reality it's going to be 10 million times worse, man. You can't even start to put it in words on how bad it's going to be. But it's going to be a scary thing, but at the same time it's going to be a beautiful thing to see how the Most High gets his people out, man. You got to understand, whatever happens in those things, whatever happens to people, the Most High already orchestrated anyway. That's why the scripture says, it says knowledge and stability should be, how does it go? Knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of that time. Paraphrasing it. Because we're going to know these things. So that's going to keep us sane. That's going to keep us calm and collective in those times, man. And you never know your lot on how your lot might not be sitting in that prison the whole time. They might put you up, put you on the guillotine, and the whole time they have like a little lever underneath the guillotine to stop the blade to see if you was going to take it. See if you was going to take death. And that might have been a sign right there, a test that you passed, and then somehow the guard let you out. I know about you. I know about what you think of. Might be, you never know, man. And they let you out. Yeah, I know a back door. You take you and your family, take you and your daughter, take you and your son, or whatever. You go here, you go to this place. There's food, water in there, and you just chill out there, man. Don't let nobody know. Go, go, go. And he tell you to run. You never know, man. You never know your situation. And some people, we know some people is going to be martyrs. We know some people's going to get their head chopped off. But those going to be the first ones in the chariots, man. Let's keep going. I only got like one more scripture after this. Isaiah 40 and verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not be faint. And this reminds me of the part where I told you I started running like it wasn't normal, but I wasn't tired or anything. I was just running to get away from those two troops. Now they weren't shooting, but they were getting ready to chase me. But they seen how I was moving. They was like, hey, it was like basically they thought they said ain't no point, just keep going. Psalms 18 and verse, I'm starting at '29. Psalms 18 verse 29. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. As for the Most High, his way is perfect. The way of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. For who is the Most High save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our power? It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken in by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and the gentleness hath made me great. He made his feet like hinds' feet, man. Just like an animal's feet. What does he say? He said he bends bows of steel with his arms. We know in those times that the Most High is going to keep his elect out of harm's way, man. Most High is protecting and watching his elect to get him out of the way. And we know in that time, brothers are going to be having spiritual powers to be doing all types of stuff. And that stuff is going to get you out of situations that you can't even imagine, man. You might be surrounded by Esau, tanks all around you. You tell me get on the ground, they might start shooting you or shooting bullets at you. Next thing you know, all the bullets just going straight through you. Not even damaging you, just standing there. You be able to dematerialize and materialize your body. Fly, go invisible, cloak yourself, go in the ground, call fire from heaven. Do all types of stuff, man, to get you out of situations. That's why it's going to be a scary thing going into that, but it's going to be even a beautiful thing seeing how the Most High gets his people out of there, man. And the last one is Nahum chapter 1 and verse 7. The Lord is good. Yahweh is good. A stronghold in the day of trouble. And we're approaching the day of trouble. And he knoweth them that trust in him. What does it say? A stronghold in the day of trouble. And he knoweth them that trust in him. He knows who trust in him, man. He knows that. And there's a stronghold. That is going to get you to safety, man. He's going to keep you safe. Keep you out of the fear of evil, man. All the destruction and pestilence and the chaos and the war that's going on. Going to stay safe. All these doomsday preppers and all this stuff is going off, man. Completely going off. What y'all doing, though, you going off so the Most High can have it elect. Be in that house. That you have all these canned goods and water and weapons and all this other stuff that you got trying to store up, man. Scriptures does not speak about storing up weapons and storing up canned goods and storing up this and all types of stuff, man. Because you don't even know People that do this, I'm gonna say this last point, and I'm gonna end it off. People do this, and you don't even know what the Most High has in plan, man. You might just be storing all that stuff, and next thing you know, your house catches on fire. Some dude throws a Molotov. You got Esau rolling through a neighborhood when tribulation starts happening. Esau might just be rolling through a neighborhood, and they might just be that house that they were like, let's just throw a Molotov at this house. You know, Esau, they throw a Molotov, and now all the stuff that you stored up catches on fire. Now what happens? You did all that storing up for no reason, man. Or a troop might storm in your house, kick down your stuff, realize that you have a whole bunch of stuff stored up, and then they chilling in your house. It was like you're storing up stuff for is you going off, man. There's no point in you storing up that. And that shows a lack of trust in the Most High, man. You trusting in yourself that you're gonna deliver yourself, that you're gonna keep yourself safe in those days, man. That's really what you're saying. It's really what your actions are showing. So with that, man, I hope the dream and the lesson was edifying, man. I want to give all praises unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakar Kadash. Double honor to the apostle and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing this truth all over the earth. Shalom to you, hopeful elect out there, you brothers and sisters. Stay strong, Israel. We're almost out of here. I'm going to catch you guys another lesson, Lord willing.